Okay, everyone, we are live. Hello, guys. And yeah, once again, for the second time, I've got the awesome Michael with me. A great booktuber. And today we're going to be doing a kind of open and honest chat about life, about books, about booktube, possibly. See how open we get. But yeah, just some little bit of small talk to start with. How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing fantastic, Cliff. Thank you for having me back for a
That's
second
a
try.
pleasure. That's a pleasure. Hey, the
Now,
first was success.
yeah, the first one was good. I don't see the private chat though.
You don't see that?
I don't see the chat. I see an empty chat room.
Okay, because I got everyone on my right here. I can see the comments. So when we look at the comments, I will bring them all up one at a time.
Oh,
How,
I see.
yeah.
No. I
So
figured
so
it out. I figured it out. I was in private chat.
yeah.
Now I
So what
see
I'll
it. Now
do
I
is,
see. Okay.
oh, you see it now.
Hello.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
We're gonna say hello to everyone just now. Hey, that's
Okay.
fantastic. We've got three people already, 4 people already. That's brilliant. But it looks like
Good
a
to see
lovely day
Michael.
where you are there, Michael.
It's always a lovely day here. Well, not always, but yeah. I just wish the camera weren't so bright. You could see the Mediterranean behind me, and
Or maybe as it gets a bit later, it might just darken a little bit.
it's only 6 o'clock
I
here.
can still see you up, no problem. I can still see you fine. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's still
If a
nice
cloud
with the
passes,
sea.
we'll get.
Say that again.
Yeah. If a cloud passes, maybe we'll get a better shot at the port in the sea. But
Yeah, but it's nice that you're sitting outside. That's great. And you've got a
hmm
glass of wine, and you're good.
I've got a whole
Everything's
bottle.
good. Oh, you got a bottle. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
of
kind of
course.
scary.
I'm not driving anywhere.
You're not driving now.
I
Okay, should
I
we
told I
use?
oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I told people in my on my channel that if they came and they asked questions, I would take a drink every time you said something ridiculous, or every time you or even I try to avoid a question, because I asked them to come with questions to challenge
Yeah.
us.
As far as I remember, you asked him to come with wine as well.
Yeah. I don't want to drink alone. What do you have something to drink there, Cliff?
Where are we? Oh, there we are. Okay. Okay, I just want to say hello to everyone. How's it, Chris? Hey, Chris. Yeah. Vanessa, hi, Cliff and Michael. Good to see you. Gareth. Hi, guys. Hi, Gareth. Okay. And we got Cats. How's it? Hey, Cliff and Michael. And Gareth says, good to see Michael back. Good luck, Michael, with the move to Latvia. Yeah, we're going to
Thank
talk
you.
about that.
And,
We're going to talk about the how, the why, the where, everything, all about your move.
yeah.
Okay.
Jeez. I'm not looking forward to it, but thank you for the well wishes.
No, it's going to be fine. You're going to be fine, Michael. Hey, other delivery lab. Jen. And we got Nim. How's it, Nim? And Mystery and Mayhem. Hi, guys. Hope you're doing well. And then we got
Mystery
Rue.
and Mayhem has the best voice. Like he should be like a voiceover artist for like selling movies or it's amazing. I could listen to him talk.
Yeah, voice. It's very cool. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
read the instruction manual or something.
I thought you were going to say that I've got the best voice.
No, Mystery and Mayhem. Mystery and Mayhem. That's the best voice.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm okay with that. Michael, that lightning makes you look angelic. Yeah, it does kind of, eh? Kind of like
Yeah.
halo sort of thing. And then Anita says, hello, everyone. Hello, Michael.
Anita.
Patricia. Yes, hello, everyone. Hello, Patricia. And then Jen says, it's only 11 a.m. where I live now. but later this afternoon I'll be drinking zombie cocktails. Oh yeah, for Zombie-thon.
What do
I
you
saw
think a
those.
zombie cocktail has in it?
I don't actually know, but I think she'll tell us.
Well,
But
we have to guess.
it sounds kind of wicked, doesn't it?
I would think you would use milk and then some kind of red food coloring, so it could have like
Yeah.
streaks of red in it.
I
Like
think there'll be
milk
green in
and
it as well. So maybe what's a green drink? A strong green drink?
Curacao? No, that's blue, isn't it? I don't know. Crème de menthe?
I don't know. Or maybe they mix two to make green. Peter says, hello, everyone. Oh, we've got a lot of people watching, eh? Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. That's for the voice. Bad says, hi, everyone. Hope you're all having a good Sunday so far. Great view, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yes, and then I'll tell you what is in the cocktail in a few minutes. Yeah.
All right,
so
I'm guessing vodka and milk. Does that exist? Vodka, milk, and some grenadine to make red streaks. And
there's a green spirit I'm trying to think of. Roku or guac. I don't know my cocktails.
Why does it need to green? When you think of zombies, you think of green.
Zombies are green.
Are they green?
Yeah, but maybe the red with the blood. I don't know. She'll have to tell us.
I think we're way off.
I think we're way off. Yeah. And then Secret Read says milk with alcohol sounds disgusting.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why. Milk in general is disgusting. I don't know why.
Yeah, but just not with alcohol. Yeah, right.
But milk and vodka is how they make White Russian with Kahlua. But
yeah, I don't know my cocktails, man. I don't know cocktails.
I don't really know either.
My zombie apocalypse cocktail will have vodka in it, along with blue curacao and melon liqueur, plus sweet and sour mix and pineapple juice. I suppose all of that makes the right kind of coloring for zombies.
Yeah, okay. Sounds very sweet.
Oh, and this is a good one. Eyeball ice cubes would be nice. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Homemade, of course.
Yeah, homemade. Yeah, no milk and alcohol for me either.
I know that was a terrible idea. I just don't let me bartend your parties.
Zombie drinks and zombie books, great combination. Yeah, I've read a couple of great zombie books so far this month for Zombie-thon.
Oh yeah. I've only read one zombie book in my entire life, I think, and that was World War Z, and it was amazing.
Yeah. And did you enjoy that?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I love it. One of my favorites.
Yeah. It's just such an interesting way that they put it together. Hey, it's not like the normal zombie apocalypse. It's after the zombie apocalypse, looking back on the victims and how the rest of the world coped with this apocalypse. What the governments did. It's actually very interesting.
The submarine passage, I remember. This was ages ago I read it. The submarine passage stuck with me. And there's a blind Japanese man who had to survive. And there's the dog trainers. Those were the three stories that really stuck with me.
You got a very good memory.
That was a very good book.
Yeah. Okay. And what do we have here? I'm also making zombie burgers for my snack. Oh no, Cat, no. Zombie burgers.
I don't know what that is.
It's when you pick your nose, you got a booger.
Okay. All right. Okay. How do you zombify a booger then?
I don't know. She'll have to tell us. But that just sounds.
Hopefully she will.
That sounds kind of gross. That sounds really gross. Okay. Hello. Haven't read much about zombies either. Me neither bad, but I did read King's the Cell this month. man, yeah. I don't know if you read The Cell. I was very disappointed.
No.
King's more disappointing works for me. Didn't work for me. A very interesting concept, but didn't work. Yeah. Okay.
I see we have a zombie cocktail.
White rum, golden rum, dark rum. Someone likes a rum. 151st proof rum, lime juice, pineapple juice, papaya juice, and superfine sugar.
Oh goodness, that sounds way too sweet. Rum is sugar already.
Yeah,
and then
you got pineapple that gives you that taste. Ah, no, that's a bit too much for me.
Yeah, I'll pass. Eat my brains, but you know.
And I'm guessing burger is a form of burger. No, burger is something that comes out of your nose. Or made with popcorn. So it's mainly what you do with the burger, what you do with the popcorn. Are you going to purchase King's new books coming out soon? Okay.
You know what? I'm taking a drink for zombie boogers because that's absurd.
Yeah, I'll join you. Cheers. Okay, my zombie cocktail will be literally. I'll take a match to it and it will burn. Okay, so it'll be flammable zombie cocktail. Every now and then a cloud passes over Michael's location and we can see that awesome view behind him. Yeah.
In a few hours we get a lovely pink and purple sunset. But
yeah. Well, that depends on how long we're going to stay up for.
So get out.
To go for a few hours. Oh, there we go. Beautiful coastline. We're also very fortunate. We live on the coast, so we got a beautiful view as well.
Mm-hmm.
I still love Night of the Living Dead. It's one of my favorite movies. Day of the Dead is awesome. Yeah,
I agree. I concur.
Yeah. Hi, Jim.
Michael's looking for reasons to drink. Yeah.
That is rad too. I probably won't right away. I still haven't read Holly into it one day. Oh yeah, that's the latest book of Stephen King. Okay.
I have to confess. I have to make my Stephen King confession.
Okay.
Because a few videos ago, I said something kind of negative about a Stephen King book, and the people, they come for me, But I was surprised how many people agreed with me. But I will say, I did not read Stephen King growing up, like as a teenager, as a young adult. And I think his books kind of are written for that reader. So I don't benefit from the nostalgia aspect of it. My first King experience was Revival in 2014. I was like 40 years old. And I really liked it. But also, when I was growing up, everybody was reading Stephen King, right?
Yeah.
And this is true, I promise you. But when I was younger, I was a little bit of a hipster, you know? I didn't want to do something that everybody else was doing. And also, I promise you, this is true. I was a little bit of a book snob. So for me, Stephen King wasn't highbrow enough. So I resisted reading Stephen King all the way up until 2014.
Yeah. I think one thing I disagree with though is that all these books are kind of aimed at a younger audience. A lot of these more modern books.
Okay.
He's read off the ones he's written after his accident. Actually shows what an amazing storyteller he is. For instance, 11/22/63 is definitely not for a younger audience. I know that.
Right.
I know that I love it.
You're right. Though it's not for
every book. Every book resonates with a reader on a different level, and that's what people need to remember. And I think some people that like kind of pop up in the comment section maybe forget that, or they're so protective, as you said to me, of King, and that they need to say something, and yet every single book of his resonates in a different way with every reader. Every listener.
You're right. 1123 and Doctor Sleep as well. I think are target more adult readers.
Yeah.
But another thing that happens to me all the time is I meet people like at a cocktail party or something, and they'll say, "What do
Yeah.
you do?" And I'll say, "I'm a writer." "What do you write?" And just to make the conversation short, I'll say, "I write horror," and then invariably they'll take the conversation to Stephen King. And
Yeah.
there's so much more to horror than Stephen King, and my books have nothing to do with Stephen King. So there's a resistance I have to Stephen King. Every time I go into a Stephen King book, there's like an obstacle there that I have to overcome.
So you just got to like let it go, Michael. You gotta. It's a mindset. It's a
Yes,
mindset. You gotta just
I'm
let it
aware
go.
of it.
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. I am not a Stephen King hater. I would not read so many of his books if I were. In fact, I'm reading a Stephen King book right now, actually.
What are you reading?
I'm reading Pet Sematary for the first time.
Ah, and you might find that is definitely not aimed for a younger audience. And what's interesting about that book is that when you read it when I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but when you read it when you're a young man, single, unmarried, no children, and you read it as an older man, maybe with children of your own, you're going to get a completely different experience of that book. It is very dark. And as I said on my previous video, my top 20 Stephen King,
which I saw,
is that Stephen King himself thought that he had crossed the line in that book.
Right.
He says he's crossed the line. He didn't want to publish that book. And he basically said it was too dark, it was too morbid, and it's not something that I actually want to publish. But he did go ahead and publish it, obviously. But he had to. So that's what you're reading right now. Probably his darkest book. I think a very, very interesting book.
Okay, I hope so. It was a huge hit, so I'm expecting good things. I'm about a third of the way in right now. They've just buried the cat. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So don't say anything more. Just keep reading. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that book. It's not even in my top 10. I think it's in my top 10. You'll find that if you look at my top 20, most of the books that I in my top 5, most of them have got like the big books. Like I love big books, and I cannot lie. Big books. Like The Stand and It.
Right.
And I also like that world building. I like lots of characters that I think he does really well. So you'll find a lot of that on my list. There's just something about Pet Sematary. I thought it was an amazing book. But a lot of the books that are more focused for Stephen King, like Misery, you've got the tension focused on one setting, right? You've got that vicious nurse, the greatest fan of that writer, the best-selling writer. And it's almost like the entire thing you're in the one room in the house. And yet she creates such tension. She does really well. And it's realistic horror. But whereas I like a lot of the more supernatural stuff. Which maybe doesn't
Well, I'm taking my time with it. I'm taking my time with it. It's because it's like 570 pages. So I'm taking it real slow.
Yeah.
Usually what I do is I'll have several books going at the same time. I'll have like a big book that I take my time with it, and then at the same time I'm reading a lot of other books, small books.
Yeah.
So at the same time I'm reading Geek Love. And that's one I'm going to go through that one pretty quickly.
Yeah, I heard that's a crazy book.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, it's pretty good. It hasn't really gotten to the horror elements yet, but it's well written. I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Now, I wanted to ask you, before we get to your book, let's see if we can get some more people on board. Tell us about where you live and why you're moving and where you're moving and all of those kind of things. I know you mentioned it on your video, the last video.
Yeah.
But can you add to that? Can you just remind people, maybe add to that?
Yeah.
And why you're moving, and why you've chosen Latvia.
Yeah, I know.
You've chosen to live next door to a war. You've chosen to live next door to a war. So just talk about that quickly.
All right. Well, I'm currently in the south of France, but I'm really just house sitting. In 2 weeks, there's an agency that's going to take over and rent it out, start renting out this house to vacationers. So I need to get out of here for that reason.
Yeah.
And I'm moving to Latvia simply because I need to live in a place that has a low cost of living.
Yeah.
Because I don't really make a lot of money. So I think Latvia has a high standard of living at a relatively low cost.
Okay.
So that's kind of why I chose Latvia. And I want a big city. So Riga, the capital, is like 600,000 people, 700,000 people, which is kind of small, but it might be just big enough. And
Yeah.
I want to live, it's important for me to live in a place that I don't speak the language, because I like to live in a bubble. You know,
Okay.
so I've been spending the last, 6 or 7 years in Poland and in Hungary, Slovenia, places that I don't speak the language, and I'd much prefer to be in those situations.
Does that not make it difficult to function in terms of going out? I mean, have you, when you move there, do you try to find other work, or do you just move there and do what you're doing now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do what I do now. I don't know what other kind of work I could do. I don't really have a lot of qualifications. Yeah.
Yeah. And what are you doing now? Just remind us.
I mostly I make my living as a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
So there's a publishing house that just, it's kind of like a book mill. They'll come up with these series, they'll create these series, and then they just pass them on to ghostwriters. So I just spit out tropey romance books or tropey mystery books.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's not regular work. It's just it just comes every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I'm also I also have a translation project where I'm translating a Cold War espionage book from English into French. So these are the kinds of projects I do. Occasionally, a legacy press will ask me to edit a book. These are just random kind of projects that fall into my lap. This is how I get by.
Yeah. No. Okay, so we look at some. Let's look at some more comments.
Latvia, I will add, Latvia is also very close to Finland. I believe there's a ferry that could take you to Finland. So I could travel around places. I can go to Estonia, Lithuania, and Finland kind of quickly.
And how close are you to the Ukrainian border?
I don't know. No, not far, but I don't know the specifics.
Yeah. So I suppose that's one thing you just have to be aware of.
Yeah, closer than I want to be.
Yeah.
But if Russia goes into Latvia, I mean that's Latvia is part of the European Union. That could be very problematic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. 74% of YA readers are adults. Yeah. A lot of adults read YA. I've read YA. I love a lot of YA. Got no problem with it.
I'm not a fan.
And then Holly was awesome. Yes, it was. Chris says Michael is looking for reasons to drink. Okay, yes. Should I say something stupid, Michael?
Please.
Okay, I can't think of anything too stupid to say. I'll just drink.
No, the bar is low. Tell us about Mexican Gothic. I'm sure you'll.
It's just the most amazing, incredible, astounding, wonderful.
There you go. See how easy that was.
Okay, so if I see that you're getting a bit thirsty, then I'm gonna just say something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Chris, you got that. I still need to read fairy tale. Yeah.
No, I saw in the comment section somebody said they believe in ghosts, so I'm going to drink to that. Cheers.
Cheers. I still need to read.
Thank you for that.
The what?
I just want to thank whoever said that.
I still need to read fairy tale. I have that copy. I don't have that yet. But this fairy tale is pretty good, especially the front half. Or let me know if you read fairy tale. Okay. Fairy
I've
tale.
not heard of this. This is a Stephen King book?
Yeah, it's a Stephen King book. It's one I want to read as well. Because, I love fantasy as well, right? I like a lot of fantasy, dark fantasy. A more of a fantasy book. Mystery Man, how they dress. Okay, everyone's just saying hello to each other. Totally fantasy. I'm just going through until we find something to actually, finish the book. Terror.
Terror. Yeah, that's been on my TBR for ages.
Yeah, that's one I spoke about that you need to read. It is very, very good.
I was supposed to read it. Everybody was recommending it to me, but at the last minute, I went for Carrie and Comfort instead, from the same author, Dan Simmons, and I didn't really like Carrie and Comfort.
I enjoyed it.
Ever since then, I've been.
Carrie and Comfort is completely unique, and I can understand why it won't appeal to every horror fan, because, like you said, it's an action horror. It moves along quickly, and there's a lot of gunfights and all crazy stuff happening you don't really expect in a horror. Carrie and Comfort, I mean, the terror is completely and utterly different. It's an historical horror novel, and it takes its time, and it's very good. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Picked up On Writing. On Writing is a fabulous book, Peter. Okay. I didn't read King until my 30s. I tried as a teen, but the wordiness was too much for me. He does get wordy.
I've decided I'm going to drink when I agree with the comments as well. So
okay,
yeah,
so
I didn't.
If you
I think
disagree,
I was 39. Yeah, if I disagree, that's good. I think I was in my 30s too, like late 39, 38. My first King experience, but it was a good experience.
Let's say hello to Blue Eyed Matt. How's Blue Eyed Matt? Okay. No, I haven't read the book Fairy Tale. It's been on my shelf. Hi guys, Michael, you're foggy. Yeah. No, he looks like he's looking. Someone pointed out he looks angelic with that behind him. So just call him angelic. Thanks, Angel. Good to see you. Hey, what you drinking for?
Always leaving funny comments like that. Hey, what you moving for?
So what did he say? What you're reading for, and then what you're moving for?
Hey, because at the start of my videos, I clipped this Bill Hicks. He was a stand-up comedian in the 80s in the United States. He had this bit where he talks about a waitress asking him why he had a book in his hand, and so just clip that. That's the start of the video, and I guess they recognize it.
Okay, what you reading for?
Yeah, hey, what you reading for? Yeah, Bill Hicks. He was fantastic. Yeah, first King book at 40. Yeah.
Amazing and interesting. Yeah.
I resisted for a long time because I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing.
Yeah. Okay. You must read Cujo Bad. It's very good. Mark is always foggy.
Depends how you feel about fog.
Well, it depends on how many glasses you had. Okay, Robert. Reading my first King book. I'm 37, Misery. Yeah, it's a brilliant book. Just made my top 20 though, but it's still a very good book.
If someone has never read King, is there a book you would recommend that they start with, or it's just too varied?
It's so varied, but if they want to dip their toes into horror, I would perhaps recommend these short stories. I've said that in a video before, like Skeleton Crew or Night Shift or Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Then you get a feel for his writing, and if you enjoy horror as well. If you're new to horror, also different seasons. Because
I did not like that. Oh, I did not like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but stories like The Body and Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank, that's not really horror, but it gives you an idea of his writing.
I liked The Body, okay, but that was, it didn't work on me. But maybe Carrie is a good start, no? Because it's short.
Carrie's first book.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
I liked Carrie.
King is not for everyone. And he's my favorite. Yeah. I concur. I've read only one King book till my 20s. Glad you finished it, Jason. Looking forward to your thoughts on it. Yeah. People mention King because if you don't read horror, that is just a name they know.
Yeah, and it happens to me all the time, and it drives me crazy. You know, what do you do for a living? Oh, I write. What do you write? Horror, and then they'll start talking about Stephen King. No, that's not. That's not.
No, but then you need to go back with them. And have you heard of Clive Barker? They ask you. They talk about Stephen King. Immediately go to Clive Barker because he's prolific. He's just as prolific, or maybe not as just as prolific, but he's an insanely good writer. A lot of people love him. So just change the subject. Talk about Clive Barker and what's the other one that I'm going to read next month? I've got my first book.
Neville?
Yeah,
Adam Neville.
I've got The Ritual. I'm going to read The Ritual next month.
Oh, that's a good place to start. Yeah, you're going to love it.
Well, it's the only one I could find, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. All right, we got I Love the Dead Zone. Yeah. I need to reread that because I don't remember a lot about it.
What are you currently reading, Cliff?
I am reading, well, it's actually what I've just finished right now. And it is, give me 1 second. 1 second.
Okay. Oh no, I'm all alone with the chat. What to do? I don't consider Stephen King purely a horror writer. From the Dust Returned. Okay.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful book. I love Ray Bradbury.
I'm very happy that you mentioned Ray Bradbury because there are women in the chat room, and I am very curious to hear what women think of Ray Bradbury. Because
of his male voice, yeah, he does.
He's very not completely disinterested in women, but I think that his books are really good anyway. But I'm curious if they work on if we can appreciate them too.
Yeah. That's because I don't consider Stephen King purely a horror writer. Absolutely, I don't either. He's a storyteller, and he's proved that in his later fiction.
Yeah, definitely. So, if there are women in the chat room that have opinions about Ray Bradbury, I'm very curious.
Yeah. Stephen King is a creative writer, and aren't they based on his life experiences? Not really. He does get his ideas sometimes from life experience. For instance, for Cujo, he had an experience once of approaching his kind of a junkyard, kind of a garage, a junkyard, and there was a snarling dog, St. Bernard, tied up, and it was barking and snarling at him. And that in his head kind of got the idea of Cujo. So with Stephen King, what he does, he'll think of things and he'll write things down that are ideas for possible stories, and then he'll possibly turn them into stories. But it's not necessarily life experiences, but it is what he sees and what he experiences on a day-to-day basis. And I think other writers do that as well. Hey, Michael?
I try not to deal with reality in any form, but it's true. It comes. You can't help it. Can't help it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of positive comments about Ray Bradbury. I've had great experiences with Ray Bradbury's work too, but I also realize that he might not be for everyone. So that's good.
I read a lot of Jamie B. A lot of Stephen King. Well, my favorites seem to be one of King. Ones a lot of King readers dislike. Tell me what your favorite is or your favorites are. I think I read my first King book in my 30s. I know that someone told me that their favorites were not Dreamcatcher. It was other science fiction one, and a lot of people hate that book. But that's why
The
every
Tommy
book,
Knocker.
Tommyknockers, yeah. But every book resonates with people differently. That's a fact. That's the bottom line. I mean, there's no 5-star book on Goodreads that's not going to have a whole host of 1-star reviews of people
Yeah,
that absolutely hated it. And yeah, I look at my favorite books like Swan Song and The Stand. And sometimes for fun, I go to Goodreads and I go to the 1-star reviews and I see what people are saying about this book. And it's just for a laugh, really, because
right.
everyone is different. Everyone is different. Okay.
My favorite king is Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, that's a very good book.
Yep.
Part 2 of The Shining.
I've already gotten in trouble for.
Tell us about your Shining experience. Tell us about your Shining experience. Because I actually saw one of the comments, and I almost felt like downvoting it, but I thought not my place to do that.
Yeah, I love the passion. No, I just. Well, firstly, I had seen the movie, the Kubrick movie, which I thought was amazing, and
Yeah.
I read Dr. Sleep, which I thought was amazing, and then after that, I read The Shining, and I had set the bar very high, but I just thought it was silly and sloppy as well. His writing has gotten much better over the years. I think his newer stuff is better than this. Yeah, I thought that I called The Shining the most overrated book in all of horror.
Yeah. You didn't have many fans after that. Oh, well, a lot of people agreed with you.
A lot of people agreed. I did lose a few subscribers on that video. Yeah.
I, of course, absolutely disagree with you. It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah,
And I
but you
think
probably read it when you were young, right?
Yeah, probably. But it works on different levels. And I said this in my last video. It's not just about the supernatural and about this haunted hotel. It's about a father and a family and alcoholism and what can actually happen. Yeah, cheers. And what can actually happen if a father turns on a family. That's freaking terrifying. Cheers.
It's just too direct in that respect. Like they spend. I don't want to go off. Last time I was here, I went off about how much I hate Frankenstein, and now I'm going to go off about how much I dislike The Shining. But just one thing.
Yeah.
But they spend like 4 or 5 pages talking about how to take care of the boiler, right? And so you know that the boiler is going to erupt at the end. I mean, it's in the whole book is like that. It
No
spells
spoilers, no spoilers for people that haven't read.
No, they spoil it for you in the book. Everything is spoiled in the book, by the way. It's all telegraphed. It's super obvious.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it's just watch the movie instead. The movie's fantastic.
I love the movie as well. Jen says I actually wrote my thesis on 4 of Stephen King's women characters. I brought him into academic discussions. Yeah. You must actually watch that video.
And she made some great videos about that too. If you haven't,
Mark, if you haven't seen it. Have you seen those videos?
Yeah. Check that out. Literary Love 1, 2, 3. Her
Yeah.
Stephen King female characters.
I watched them as well. Highly recommend. Mm-hmm. Just finished Pet Cemetery and that. Yeah.
I feel pressure. I feel a lot of pressure. When I read a beloved book, I really, really want to love it too. I want to be like everyone else. I want to fit in. I want to be part of the club.
Why do you want to be like everyone else, Michael?
I want to be a part of the club is what I mean. You know?
Yeah. But you said you want to feel like everyone else. Why?
I misspoke. I want to be a part of the club is what I meant.
Yeah,
I want to be human. I want to be a human person.
No, you are a human person, but be true to yourself, because you said to me yourself that there are books that you have loved recently. You said to me there are a lot of books you haven't loved, but you said there are books that you've read that you have enjoyed. So talk about those. Be true to yourself. That's what you enjoy. You love Adam Neville. You love Clive Barker. You like probably a specific kind of writing, kind of literary writing.
It's got to be a little literary.
Be true to yourself, right?
But at the same time, I am trying to expand. I've been in a bit of a slump lately with my book choices, to be honest with you. But hopefully Geek Love, I think Geek Love is going to pull me out of it. Or maybe Pet Sematary, too. Those are the 2 books I'm reading.
It's a good book. I'm hoping it will.
I'm hoping it will, too.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jim. Currently watching the series now on the Terror. I haven't actually seen the series. I didn't even know there was a series. Dan Simmons.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. For King, non-horror books. Yeah, like on writing. And there's one called Dance Macabre that was really good as well.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but the people in the people in the comment section, they need to ask questions that Cliff and I don't want to answer, so that I can take a drink.
Yeah, I just think that what's the book called? It's just so wonderfully American. And it's just Mexican Gothic, and it's so incredibly well written, and it just appeals to me as a reader, and I just really enjoyed it. Is that good enough?
No, it's not. It's
is that good enough for your next drink?
All right. It has its qualities.
Yeah.
It's just I wish it hadn't been as hyped as it was.
No, I just brought it up so that you could pour.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Mystery and Mayhem, I prefer King's non-horror books. I got that wrong. I thought non-fiction, but non-horror, yeah, like 11/22/63. Joyland, it's an absolutely beautiful book. I think of some of the other ones. It's got some good ones. Green Mile, yeah, very good. Okay, that's a great series. I love Dark and Morbid. That is probably why Pet Sematary is one of the King books that would really work for me. Yeah, it's very morbid. It's very dark. I would never read a King book with the millions of other options available.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, you're entitled to that.
I love that. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not a King hater, but I love the resistance. Because demand more, demand something else.
Viva la resistance. Yeah. But that is, I would recommend that maybe one day you change your mind.
I was like that for decades. I refused to read King just because it was so popular. I was like, no, I just can't be as good as Clive Barker, which it isn't. But still, it has its own charm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Green Mile, Jim. That's a great choice. Yeah, it's Jim. Sorry, I keep saying it's Mystery and Mayhem is Jim. Yeah. Terrible with names.
Oh, I'm the worst. Yeah.
I'm terrible. I think when I'm 70 or 80 and I'm with my wife, I just got to be careful. So I forget a name. I just got to keep calling her honey or darling or something. Sorry, I saw a joke about that. There's two 80, 90-year-olds, and he keeps calling her darling and honey and all the rest because he forgot her name about 10 years ago.
Thank you, Cliff. Pet Sematary is overrated. Okay, all right. Might be. Yeah. It is highly rated. So we'll see.
Yeah. How far are you into Pet Sematary? What are your thoughts so far? I find myself rereading this book. Yeah.
When I experience episodes of major depression. Wow. Okay. I'm on page 190 of 570. They have just buried the cat. My impression so far is I feel a lot of pressure to like this book because everybody likes it and I want to be a part of the club. I want to feel like a human being. So I feel pressure, right or wrong, I do. I have some resistance towards King. He is very folksy in his writing. It's all small town America. Now, I lived in the U.S. for many years. I do not have like nostalgia for it. So the small town America is not a setting I'm particularly excited about. The folksy way of speaking, the folksy way of writing is a problem for me that I need to overcome. So I'm reading, there's a lot of that in Pet Sematary. It's very folksy. And I'm struggling with it, right? I'm not hating it, but I'm skeptical that I'm gonna really jump. I'm gonna be able to ride that bandwagon. I'm skeptical, but I'm keeping hope alive. I'm only a third of the way in.
Don't force yourself to like a book. You don't have
I'm
to.
not.
You are
trying.
you're in a club already. It's called a reading club. You're in a club already, called the fact that you love reading club.
Yes, but
Everyone like everyone's different. Everyone is different. You don't have to like King. You don't have to force yourself to like him.
I disagree. I have to make an effort.
Sorry?
Apparently, if you from the comments in my videos, I have to like King, and I have to read a lot more sci-fi. My goodness. You have to be very careful about anything you say about sci-fi. Those sci-fi fans are loyal and passionate and enthusiastic and super knowledgeable too. So
There was more YA fans who were like that.
no YA fans there.
YA romance and YA sort of, I thought fans were a little bit more, you know.
Now they have short attention spans, so once you say something bad, they forget about it. It's okay. The sci-fi fans should be very.
Let's change the subject. Let's change the subject. We can get in trouble. So, okay. Next one. Yeah, one of my favorites, Jess. Yes. Mindy's book Journey. Green Mile is my favorite, King. That's a phenomenal book. I can't believe I actually thought of it in the last minute and I added it as a special mention because I forgot to put it in my list. I actually forgot about the book and then said, wait, this should be in my top 10, 20. I'll just mention it. But it's a very good book. You might love that. And it's not as much horror. It's about a guy on death row.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did see the movie.
Yeah, very powerful. So,
and I liked it.
Okay, when King went after Kubrick, I wrote more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't like
that's fair.
Yeah. No, he didn't like that movie, eh? It was very different from the book.
I have had one experience in my life of somebody repurposing my property. I wrote a short story and someone did an animation of it. And it was very different. It was not at all true to what I had written, but I loved it. I loved the fact that someone takes an idea from a creative person and then puts different ideas into it. And this happened to me, and I thought of Stephen King and his feud with Stanley Kubrick, and so I agree with him. He's missing the joy of someone else reinventing your.
Well, you see, I think there are a lot of readers out there that actually love the book and the movie for different reasons. I'm one of those people that they're completely different. Yes, he took the creative idea, and Stanley Kubrick, as far as I'm concerned, created kind of masterpiece. But Stephen King's book in itself, for me, is a masterpiece as well. It's just different. Stephen King had a different vision about Jack Torrance, who's the father. And the biggest difference between the movie and the book is that Jack Torrance is a man that has demons, but he is a normal man trying to put aside those demons, and he's trying to do good for his family. And he's not at the beginning kind of the psychotic looking Jack Nicholson in the movie. Jack Nicholson from the beginning of the movie doesn't look normal, someone who's trying to live his life again. He looks like he's on the verge of breakdown.
He looks, which is probably more true to the story, because if he's an alcoholic, as supposedly he is in The Shining, then he would look like a man with demons. Stanley Kubrick nailed it. Stephen King did not. And you are in the minority of people who like both, because usually people feel like they need to pick a
I don't think so. No,
you don't
I don't
think so?
think so. To be honest, I don't think so. I think quite a lot of people enjoyed both for different reasons. Okay. Well, that's what I've heard. Maybe I am in the minority, but I enjoyed both very much.
I enjoyed one very much. It's one of my favorite movies.
I think King be for younger readers, but mature audiences. Yeah. I still need to read the book, Jim. I love the movie. I wonder if it's slightly different from the book. It was actually released in a series, a whole bunch of series, The Green Mile. And I've got the series and the complete book. But it's brilliant. Well worth reading. Okay, what have you got here? Oh, I want to read Geek Love.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, I'm only maybe 20% through it, but I'm enjoying it. Maybe at the end of June, I'll do a video, my video review from Latvia, probably.
That'd be awesome.
I'm not
So
committed to Latvia. I haven't bought my plane ticket or made my accommodations. I might change my mind at the last minute. But
okay, tell me about that full process. Because how did you decide in the first place that you were going to go to Latvia and not somewhere else? And how do you think that you might change your mind? And why would you change your mind now?
well, I'm not crazy about the idea. Well, I'm not crazy about the idea of moving to Latvia. I have to move. I have to vacate this place. It's not my place. I have to leave in 2 weeks. But I need a place that's low cost of living, and I have to stay in Europe. So I don't have that many options. And I've considered returning to Hungary or returning to returning to Poland. But I feel like going back to the same country is a little bit like a failure. So I feel like I have to go to a different country. And I'm kind of running out of countries because I've been moving around for 12 years. So I don't have that many countries.
Why do you have to stay in Europe? Why
because I don't have, because of papers like visa and stuff. I don't want to deal with that mess.
Yeah.
So I have to stay in the union. Okay. I'm terrible at anything administrative. So yeah, I mean, probably also the problem is the trip, because I have a cat with me, and that complicates everything. There are certain airlines I can't fly, and for me to go from here, there's no airport near me. I have to take a bus, then a train to Nice, and then take a flight. So it's a 16-hour trip from here to Riga, which is more than I'd like to do. So maybe I might end up in Croatia at the last minute. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you done research on each of the places?
I mean, I'm not really a research kind of guy. I just figured out when I get there. No, but I have. Yeah, I mean, I've joined some Facebook groups from people in there. I don't know. I'm not excited about. Yeah, I'm not excited.
Yeah, well, looking from your background and from the sea view and everything, I wouldn't be excited about moving either. I would love to stay there.
This is not at all my lifestyle, at all. I hate the heat, mosquitoes. It's super boring here. There's the beach. I have 2 beaches, 10-minute walk each, but that's all there is here. There's nothing going on here. I need to be in a big city. I need like movement and people and crowds, and not crowds, but activities.
Yeah, we moved because we wanted to get away from all of that. And I mean, you talked about being isolated and about getting lonely. Mm-hmm. We've got each other, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're married. It's a big difference. So.
But even the 3 of us together, it's such a thing as being. I mean, you're away from your support structures. You're away from your friends and family. We've got each other, but it's still like very little to do here as well. We walk on the beach. We play with Layla. There's shopping. There's a little bookstore. There's very little going on in terms of getting to know people. Now we know our neighbors. We get on with them, but we're not like best friends with them on either side. So we like to kind of stick to ourselves. And they do too. But yeah, I suppose the idea of sometimes missing the big city, missing people, that gets you there.
Especially, I'm not married, so I mean, if I were married, I could probably tolerate this inactivity here. But for a single person, it's no fun.
Yeah. So. Okay, let's look what we got here. Oh, it's pretty close, Jess. And yeah, I have that book, Geek Love. Very good for me. What it's about.
I love Geek Love. Okay.
Jim says, from what I remember, looking forward to it, and I hear many things about Green Mile.
So, Cliff, let me interrupt. What are your plans for your channel coming up? You got some ideas, some videos you want to put out?
Yeah, well, let me just think for a second here. Try and make a point to my wife here.
Jeez.
Hopefully she got the point. Plans for my channel. Well, first of all, I'm really enjoying doing lives. So maybe to start my own, more than one person, maybe a group discussing The Shining or Stephen King or something.
Yeah.
Like a kind of like I've been part of a group now called All About Holly.
Right.
Where for 4 months we discussed the book Holly and the character Holly Gibney. And once a month after reading that book, we'll come together. So I'd like to do something like that. I mean, maybe something like that. I'm not sure yet. I love what I'm doing now, like once a week doing these lives.
Okay.
I do want to carry on with my author focus thing, like where I look at an author and my rankings, and I'm still going to do.
I haven't seen any of your author rankings, your author focuses. What authors have you done?
Oh, mostly British authors. I've done Graham Masterton. I've done Ramsey Campbell. I can't remember some of the others, but I still want to do Neil Gaiman. I still want to do Ray Bradbury. Of course, I've done a whole thing on Clive Barker as well. Actually, I've done a number of Clive Barker videos.
Yeah.
But it's a nice idea just to focus. I've done a Dean Koontz video, just to focus on different authors, the books that I own, something about each of those authors. I like to do that. Do a bit of research, and then rank them and talk about the books that I like. Yeah,
I did see your rank. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference? Do you notice a preference between UK and US horror?
Well, my 3 favorites are Robert McCammon, Stephen King, and Clive Barker. He's British.
Right.
Neil Gaiman is British. Ray Bradbury is American. There's no real preference.
You don't see it? Okay.
Not really, no. And I mean, there are a lot of there's some of those British authors that I've spoken about that don't necessarily appeal to me as they should. I've done a video on them, but someone like Ramsey Campbell, very popular, but for me, it's very much hit and miss. There's a couple of books. I think the one was A Man with No Face or something that I really enjoyed. Then there's a couple of other ones. The serial killer one. Do you remember that, or have you read that?
The Doll Who Ate His Mother.
Sorry?
The Doll Who Ate His Mother?
Yeah. I read that. I was kind of iffy about that.
Yeah,
I love the cover. The cover was good.
Yeah.
Cover's great. But there's another one that he wrote. It's a cover with a switchblade. It's a vicious cover. God, I really enjoy it. And that's probably the best one by him I've read. And it's still only a 4-star. And there's I think his writing is very different. And it depends on either your mood or you just have to. He's one of those authors you either enjoy or you don't.
I've only read 2 of his, and I liked both of them. The Doll Who Ate His Mother and his most recent one, The Lonely Lands. Came out last year.
I think I've read about 4 or 5 of his. I've liked 2 of them. And the others I was kind of indifferent to. But I'm going to still read him because he's supposed to be. And we were supposed to do a buddy read. I'm sorry about that.
We can always do it later. It's very difficult to coordinate with me because I'm very kind of organized with my reading as well. I'm not as spontaneous as I'd like to be.
Yeah.
Because I like to read according to whatever videos I have plans to do. I have to read for the videos, so I kind of plan my reading accordingly.
Yeah. So that's one problem I have sometimes when I make too many commitments to too many different readathons or book events and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're kind of not reading just what you want to read. Like I think next month what I want to actually do is really look at the books that are high priority for me on my TBR that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to really enjoy. Like this Adam Neville book. And there's a couple of other ones I really want to get to. And then there's one readathon that I want to join in. which is a Western one. But I've actually got a Louis L'Amour book called The Haunted Mesa, which is this horror Western. So I can give that a go. But yes, I try to make my reading suit. You have to make it suit you, what you want to read, and your videos, like you say. Otherwise, just
yeah,
too much.
that's a lot of my reading choices are based on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, because I try to be sociable as well, like to join readathons, join things like that. But sometimes it puts pressure on you because you feel like you want to read this, but you feel you're obliged to read this because it's a choice, right?
Cliff, I'm seeing some good questions in the comment section, and we want to.
Okay, let's go through. Let's go through.
Which writers inspired your writing?
Okay, wait. Let's just go through them first.
Okay, all right.
I have to get going. Take care, everyone. Cheers, them. Okay. I would find not speaking the language very frustrating.
I love it. I love it. Because it's always a discovery. I'm discovering things every day, which is fun. And also, I don't have to listen to what people say, like on the public transport, which is great. So, no, I absolutely love living in countries where I don't speak the language. It's kind of a priority.
And also, if you really want to, you can actually learn the language.
Yeah, you do. Even if you don't want to, you learn it. So it's always a discovery, and it's super interesting. Always. So I love it.
Yeah. What I know. Have you been to Latvia before? Or just
No. I always move, with the exception of Portugal and Brazil. I've always moved to places I've never been to before.
Yeah.
Always.
And you're going there completely. You're going in blind.
I always go blind. I always go blind. Yeah.
That's adventurous, eh?
I mean, it's not by choice, really, but it's just the way.
No. Consider it an adventure.
Yeah, yeah.
As you prefer language barrier.
Definitely. I like walls between me and people. I mean, to an extent. Also, I will say another thing too, is if I meet somebody, in order for me to interact with them, they have to speak a second language. So my interactions with people are limited to people who are open-minded. That's just the way it is set up. Like if you live in a country where, like here in France, I can interact with everybody, even if they only speak French, which means that I interact with people who are open-minded and people who aren't. But when I go to a country where I don't speak the language, in order for me to interact with them, they have to be somebody who is open-minded. Otherwise, I can't interact with them, which is great. So I always have positive experiences in these countries, always, because I only have access to the cool part of the population.
How many languages do you speak?
I mean, like only like I hate this question. I like 5, I guess. But they're all so similar. The Romance languages are so similar. French, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish are very similar. So I tell people I speak 5 languages because of those languages. But people who know those languages, they're like, "Oh, that's cheating. You really speak 2 languages. You speak Romance and English."
Okay. So
and a little bit of Polish, a little bit of Russian, but probably not enough to deal with life.
Yeah. You should try to visit the haunted places in Latvia. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay. That's not really a thing for me, haunted places. I don't really have that childlike wonder about things, but okay. He doesn't believe in ghosts. No, because I am not a child.
Careful what you say. I would take a very big sip if I were you.
Yeah, it's bad, but bad as Rad has left. No, is she
no, a lot of us believe in ghosts. Oh,
thank you, Cliff.
Green Mile has some very sad parts. Yeah, you're right. Very, very, very sad. I believe in ghosts. Just haven't seen one yet.
Jeez, you guys are gonna get me drunk.
Well, if you want to make a statement like that, you're in trouble. Does
Does yes still want to go to Latvia? Probably not. She probably does not enjoy traveling. Cats do not enjoy traveling, but
do,
she is
do, you
super
keep,
adaptable.
do you have a little dog suit for her and keep her close to your chest?
No, I have a bag for her that she travels in.
Okay.
She's lived in I think 9 different countries already.
That's
Latvia will be
incredible.
here 10. She's 10 years old. It's terrible. I'm the
That's,
worst cat owner ever.
no, you're
But
not. No, you're not.
she
A
doesn't
cat,
have her own home. Like, but
no,
you know,
a cat that gets around. I think she likes it.
she likes the lizards, chasing the lizards here in the south of France and in Portugal. But I don't know. I'm sure she'll adapt. She adapts very well. She's a seasoned traveler.
That's,
Ghostwriting sounds intriguing. Nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. It's a very strange way to make a living because the projects I get assigned, I can't imagine these people sell these books, but they do. I do a lot of reverse harem. Do you know what reverse harem is, Cliff?
no, never heard of it.
This is like one woman, and she has like a selection of like 8 or 9 men, and they're all in love with her, and they all get along very well. So she has like a harem of men.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason, there's always a baby that is born at the end, and then they all take care of the baby as a family. This is what the client asks me to write, and that's what I write. But that's maybe half of the projects I work on are reverse harem. But sometimes
weird.
it's weird, and people they sell these books apparently. I have a book out, Edifice Complex, which we didn't get a chance to talk about, but that's okay. I'll make a video.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that I write this book, and I don't think it's going to sell, but I make these like super tropey romance books or mystery books that apparently people have success selling. I wish I knew how they did it.
Do you want to maybe talk about your new book now? Like
I'm sorry?
Why did you write it? Who did you write it for? What it's about? Just talk about it now quickly.
So Edifice Complex was the first book I ever wrote. It was back in like 2012. It's a long time ago I wrote this book. But I've written it many times since then, over and over again. And it was just kind of like therapeutic for me to write this because I was going through some stuff. And I sent it off to some agents, and I got a few agents to look at it, but they said to me, I can't sell this book because what genre is it? It has no genre. I'll give you the tagline. It's an Algerian immigrant moves to Paris, where he develops an obsessive, erotic, murderous relationship with a residential building set for demolition. It's called Edifice Complex. So it's super. It's set in a horror. It's not really a horror book because it's not scary, but it is set in a horror universe. There's a lot of blood and people getting killed, and there's a lot of weird sex with like man and building sex, and and there are moments that are funny, but it's not a humor book. It's like a psychological investigation and a condemnation of that about the housing crisis in Paris in a literary style. So agents were liking it, but they said, I can't sell this. I don't even know what genre it is. And I had some small publishers wanting to publish it, but I didn't feel confident that they could sell it too. So I just kept holding on to it. And finally, I'm moving to Latvia. I need some money. I was like, I'm going to put it out and see. Maybe I can sell it myself. I don't know.
Well, there's a bit of pop coming out there with the man and the wall, and you know that there's a book that actually happens.
Yeah. Clive Barker is a big influence of mine because I mean, this is 12 years ago. This would have been Clive Barker would have been an influence back then. Yeah. And Edgar Allan Poe was a big influence in me, especially growing up. Also, Jorge Luis Borges. Have you ever read Borges before?
Borges,
Luis Borges, Jorge Luis Borges.
No.
Yeah, he's spectacular. Argentinian writer from like the 50s and 60s, I want to say. He has a book, a collection of short stories called Ficciones, which is a classic, and it's a must read. That book blew my mind, and Yeah, you have to read Ficciones. Everybody has to. It's an amazing book.
Okay.
That's why
I'll write these. I'm going to write these down because you're not going to leave me straight away. So I'll
okay.
definitely write
Afterwards, we'll talk. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still busy with your short stories. They're very entertaining.
They're only 6. It's a very short book. Huh? You're
no. Only reading like one every now and then.
Yeah, you have to be in a specific state of mind because they're super goofy, right? They're really silly. Which ones have you read so far?
No, it's just the first 3. I can't remember the first one about that monster that comes creeping up on the boy at night.
Yeah,
and it's a very vicious ending. Like it's just your books are so vicious at the end.
okay.
And then there's one about
the Halloween one.
Yeah, the son and the daughter, and the daughter is It was a while before I read the second and third one. So
Pareidolia and the Company. Yeah, that's a meme.
I'll definitely review it when I'm done, but it's fun so far.
Okay. And have you read the third one then?
I can't remember what it's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember the third one because it's like a holidays. So after Halloween is Thanksgiving. So I think Thanksgiving is the next one to come up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Halloween one I can remember, and it's that thing in the tree, and she goes out in a storm.
Yeah.
She goes out in that storm. Yeah.
And I think after that is Thanksgiving, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I love how they got little violent, bloody endings that really just kick you in the guts.
Yeah, it's a nasty. There's some. Yeah, it's nasty. But some of it's.
Have you written any other horror material, like horror books, like that? Novel.
Yeah.
Which novel?
It's not out. It's called The Quick and the Still. I'm hanging on to it. I signed. This is the book that I signed with the publisher last year, but we decided to go different ways. I have many books. I just hold on to them, waiting for an agent to pick them up. Yeah. But maybe if I can sell Edifice Complex, I'll put them out and try. So, but I'll just hold on to my stuff until I can get an agent, which is not happening. Let's see what other questions we have here. Yeah, because I'm thirsty. I need to take a drink.
So what is this? Ghostwriting sounds intriguing. Ashamed of?
Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. It's just it's weird that it's a weird way to make living. What do you mean he doesn't believe in ghosts? He's literally a ghostwriter. Okay, jeez. I told my nephew I was a ghostwriter. He's like, "Wow, you get to write about ghosts for a living." I was like, it's not really what that means. That would be cool, but
tell us about Mexican Gothic. Oh, it's just such an incredible book. So moving and so well written. Just the prose was so elegant. And yeah, there we go. Hey. Okay. Hey, what you drinking for?
It works on me every time. Every video he makes a comment like that works on me.
Yeah. Well, you should say to him, because I can. Oh no, not the book Mexican Gothic, Michael Rankin.
No, I've got love for. I don't have love for Mexican Gothic, but great cover. Here's a dumb question.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question actually, because I hate both of them. I don't hate Mexican Gothic. I do hate Frankenstein. I prefer Mexican Gothic.
But Frankenstein is so beautifully written.
Oh, come on, I only have one bottle, and the shops are cold. So take it easy with your Frankenstein comments.
Okay, I will. Okay, so we now go. Oh no, Chris. Yeah, guys, it's not about getting him tipsy.
It's okay. I'm not driving.
Conversations here. I'm just here to stir the pot. That's what you're doing. I love it. Stir the pot. Let's go. Okay, see, he will go after Frankenstein. I'll have to start drinking too. Frankenstein is an absolute masterpiece. I'll fight Michael on this. Drink up.
I don't want to fight. I mean, you're allowed to be wrong. It's fine. You're laughing. I mean, it's a good essay for a 19-year-old. A 19-year-old who wrote an essay and pretended it was a novel. Okay.
Oh, you're asking for trouble here.
It's just not, these books that are essays that are disguised as novels that are very popular in academia, they never work, almost never work on me.
Okay.
With the exception, I think 1984 might fit that category, and I like that book. But generally, those essay novels don't work on me.
I'm just glad they're not picking on me. Or should I say stirring the cauldron?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, let me go check. I think if he had to pick, Frankenstein has to win.
I can't see. What did that say? Michael is a vampire.
It says if you have to pick between Frankenstein and Mexican Gothic. Although
I'll take Mexican. I'll take Mexican.
So beautifully written and gorgeous prose and you'll pick Mexican Gothic.
I wouldn't dislike Mexican Gothic as much as I do if it weren't so highly praised. If it had gone under the radar, I might have thought, oh, this is not bad. And also if it weren't called Mexican Gothic, because there's nothing Mexican about that book. Nothing. Yeah. Anyway.
Michael is a vampire.
Okay.
You say you're a vampire.
I don't feel like a vampire. I'm definitely a morning person, and I'm not a night person. So I'm like a reverse vampire.
What about a book about a writer who moves to a strange country and meets someone who is obsessed with all his ghostwritten books?
Nobody knows what books I've ghostwritten. I never tell. But I have occasionally. I do go on Goodreads and look at reviews of them. And it's so funny. Like, this is written by some 13-year-old girl. It's so unrealistic. I'm like, yes, it's exactly what the client wanted. I nailed it.
That's what's selling.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah. First King was a stand.
Wow, that's a big book to have your first experience with. I lived in Boulder, Colorado. I set one of my horror stories in Boulder because I thought that was I saw a picture of it and I thought it was a horrific looking place. Has the Rocky Mountains looming over this small town. I was like, wow. And it's one of my favorite short stories I've ever written. It's called What Happened to Melissa. It's a novella that's part of the collection Delirium's Muse, which you should not buy because I don't make money from that. Publisher gets all of it. But you should get it at the library.
Yeah. I actually had a problem. I had a problem with The Outsider. A lot of people in that group that I had, the All About Holly group, they read The Outsider because Holly Gibney's in there. I had a little bit of a problem with that. Everyone else seemed to love it, but just seemed to be like two different books for me. And I don't know. A lot of his murder mystery stuff doesn't do it for me like his horror stuff. Because later on in life, a lot of his books are more murder mystery as opposed to horror. And yeah, I prefer his horror. Okay, let's move on. Okay, realize that Ghost is writing it himself.
That's a terrible idea. How many stories are characters who then realize they are ghosts? I mean, it was great in The Sixth Sense, but yeah. Anyway, anything that involves a ghost is not going to work on me, with one exception: Cold Heart Canyon.
Yeah. Oh, Cold Heart Canyon, brilliant.
That's the only ghost story I can.
I read King, but I won't be featuring him on my channel.
Yes, I agree. I'm the same way. I don't talk about King, not because I hate him, because he doesn't need the promotion.
Well, actually, my channel as well. I haven't spoken besides the last video. The last time I spoke about him was last year, possibly April, May. I haven't spoken about him at all. Just talking about him, he's a favorite author of mine. So every now and then, at least once or twice a year, I'm going to bring him in.
You're not forgiven, Cliff.
Hey, Robert. Jamie B. Hearts in Atlantis is my favorite collection book. I love the creepy dudes with their purple cars and the nice neighborhood introducing kids. A lot of Hearts in Atlantis. There's a lot of Dark Tower references, which I really enjoyed. And there's some really hot, like interesting stories in that book. It's like 4 novellas, a short story. Really enjoyed that. Yeah. But I love the Dark Tower. So. Clive Barker deserves all the praise. Stephen King, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'll drink that.
Hey, I love both.
Yeah.
Unlike you,
you know,
people, unlike you people, I'll drink too much.
When I was young, like everybody was reading Stephen King, and me, I was heavily into this Clive Barker camp. And for me, in my head, I made the division. I was like, no, you have to like one or the other, which is stupid. But I was annoyed that Stephen King was as popular as he was, even though I had never read him. I was like, you guys, it's not possible that he's half as good as Clive Barker. So stop with all the Stephen King. And now I've read lots of Stephen King since then, and yeah, he's not half as good as Clive Barker. But he's still good. He's still good. He's not, but just not half as good as Clive.
But just not nearly as good as Mexican Gothic, eh? Mexican Gothic is fine, bro. Beautiful book.
Poor Sylvia Moreno Garcia. She doesn't deserve this. She doesn't deserve.
Drink up.
She made a lovely little YA book for, people's first horror experience, and then here we are trashing on it. It's not fair.
Yeah. The Ritual is really good. Yeah, I'm going to read that next.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, my channel is a big Adam Neville promotional platform, isn't it?
Yeah, let's go through these. Just finishing up the reddening. Oh, I love that cover. That's a brilliant cover. Absolutely.
That was my first Adam Neville experience and blew my mind. Also read Confessions. What is Confessions? It was all right. Major ups and downs. I don't know what Confessions is. I know Confessions of St. Augustine, but you can't refer to that. Yes, I asked the readers, the women, to tell me what they think of Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, they didn't really get back to you, did they?
I think they did. I think you're slow about answering the questions. Let's speed it up, man.
I think for saying something like that, I think you should drink up.
I don't know. It didn't seem ridiculous. On point.
I read From the Dust Returned on my TBR season 2. Grew up reading back. I always enjoyed books. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I enjoyed From the Dust Returned, but it was a little bit uneven. It was still 4 stars, but it didn't seem like those short stories. They're all tied up into this house. It's like a perfect Halloween read. But some of the stories were better than others, and it was just, yeah.
Okay.
I've only read The Halloween Tree.
Okay. Is that part of the same trilogy as the Something Wicked This Way Comes?
I'm not sure. I know that I love Something Wicked This Way Comes and Dandelion Wine. They're both part of the Green Town trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay. I love both of them. I don't know what the third book is. I wish I knew what the third book is.
Yeah, I need to read Dandelion Wine because Something Wicked This Way Comes is one of my all-time favorites. Horror in all genres. It's
might just find that in my top 10 books of all time.
Yeah, it would make my top 10 as well.
Yeah. I did read Halloween Tree a year or so ago. Weird male vibes from that one.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. All right.
I think cool. Short stories are very, from reading some of the short story collections, I get what you're saying, Michael. There's a very strange thing about male and female. Yeah.
Even his novels, though. I mean, the female characters are afterthoughts. Yeah. But I think it's in Martian Chronicles as well, where he has a conversation with the 2 men, and the guy's like, I don't care about women. And it was very, very strange because it felt like not the character, but it felt like the author explaining why there are no women in this book. It's like, women, they're on Earth doing
Come back. Come back. Come back. Wait. Lost the picture there. Oh.
Really love Ray Bradbury's writing. Is Mythos Magnet a woman? Oh, well.
Bradbury's short stories about kids are great too. The one about the kid, about the girl who misses seeing the sun, and the boy who finds the alien mushroom.
Okay, so maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm making too much of it. I'm just curious because
No. I have heard it before. And actually reading, it's not. I don't think it's about putting women down. I think it's they just
no,
don't,
it's not. Yeah,
they just don't, they're not there.
right. Exactly.
If you look at something wicked this way comes, it's about two boys coming of age. It's about the father and where's the mother, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are two women characters. One is a witch, and one is the neighbor who like is in distress at the.
Isn't the one also that beautiful girl? That's a witch, almost naked, semi-naked.
She
No, she's part of
beautiful.
She's part of the circus.
Okay, I don't remember that.
I can't remember, but I know what you're saying. It's like it's basically they're not there.
Right.
And when they are, they're secondary.
The worst example is the Fahrenheit 451, where that's a bit aggressive. It's a bit aggressively anti-woman in that book. Oh, another book, by the way. You want to hate and you want to come at me? That's a super overrated book, by the way.
Okay, I'm listening. Oh, Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah. That has no business being a classic. It might even be worse than Frankenstein.
No, I enjoyed Fahrenheit 451. I actually reread it recently.
Yeah.
It's not a classic, but I still enjoyed the story. I still thought it was very interesting.
Why do you hate women?
It's not a 5-star classic for me, as most people make out, but I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it reread. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I do think it's a bit more dry, and it's not as effective as other books by Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's not as enjoyable as in the traditional sense.
Oh, I enjoyed 451. Sorry. No, can you go back to the comment there? And I did not like the Halloween tree. I can't recall much about women characters in either book. Yeah, well, that's probably why you enjoyed Fahrenheit 451. You don't remember how he treats the women in that book. Yeah, write an essay about that, about Ray Bradbury.
You're making friends here. You're making friends and influencing people. The Shining is the one book I always recommend.
I think that, no,
absolutely, absolutely right. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
He's being sarcastic. He's being sarcastic. Yeah, I know this guy. He reads like 1 million books a month. That guy, Robert. And in every book that he tells me about, I've never heard of, and I always go and look it up on Goodreads, and they're always like super highly rated, and he has like, he's like the radar for great books. But they always sound very challenging. Like I keep track of all his comments and like all the books recommendations. They're all super highly rated and interesting, and I'm gonna like dedicate a month or two and just go through Robert's recommendations and see if I can handle it, because it's some challenging stuff. There's no way he recommends The Shining to people. He's taking the piss. There's no way.
What's this?
He was being sarcastic. He doesn't recommend The Shining. I don't believe that for a second. He reads too many great books to bother with that.
Yep. Jamie says, didn't like Dreamcatcher, but I enjoyed Sleeping Beauties and Finders Keepers. Haven't read Finders Keepers is okay for a crime novel. I enjoyed it. Sleeping Beauties I haven't read yet because my wife, it's probably the first Stephen King book she has DNF'd, because he writes it with his son, Owen King. And she said it's just terrible, awful book.
I've heard bad things.
I don't mind Dreamcatcher. It has its moments here and there, but it's not my favorite. But I'm going to try and read Sleeping Beauties. I haven't read it yet, so I can't really comment. But my wife can't stand that book.
It'd be tough writing a book with your son, because what if he like writes some crap and you have to explain to him that it's crap? That's probably not a conversation
But
you want to have.
it's also just bringing two voices together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And now for me, what works is when Stephen King wrote with Peter Straub, The Talisman and Black House. Although Black House, not as much. But that really worked for me, that collaboration. But it doesn't always work.
I don't know how that's done.
How do you become a ghostwriter?
You get very desperate. You have rent due and a cat that needs food, and you're like, oh, and you can't get a job anywhere. And Satan shows up at your doorstep and says, "Can I buy your soul?" And you're like, "Yes, please take it."
That's so melodramatic, Michael.
Yeah. I didn't apply to be a ghostwriter. They come find you. They smell the desperation. They come find you.
Okay. Were there females in Halloween Tree? I remember a group of boys that were friends. If there was a female, I don't remember. I haven't read Halloween Tree. I really don't know. I don't remember a girl in Halloween Tree. Okay.
Yeah.
Mythos Managed. I like that name for a channel, eh? That's very cool.
That is
Mythos
very cool.
Managed. Very super cool. Doctor Sleep, The Shining, 100%.
So the Doctor Sleep is better than The Shining. That's
Yeah.
what I read.
I disagree, but I'm not going to go there now.
You're perfectly allowed to be wrong. It's okay.
Yeah.
You've been wrong. Lord knows you've been wrong before.
And you're perfectly allowed to be wrong with Mexican Gothic as well. So be very careful.
But seriously, I think Stephen King, it makes sense because he writes a lot. I think he's just gotten better at it. He's gotten better. I think his more recent books are better than his early stuff.
No, I like his older ones because there's a rawness and there's a energy and there's a.
But you are super forgiving. You are super forgiving with the writing.
It's what you enjoy. Hey, you're in the minority here, so you know.
I am.
It's just, I love the interview. That was fun. And I loved how King handled the sequence leading up to Holly. I didn't like some of the middle books in the Dark Tower series, but I loved how it ends. Yeah, I like the ending. We're not going to go there. Not going to go there. I love the whole Dark Tower. Actually, one of my videos that I want to do quite soon, this year, is I want to do a ranking of all the Dark Tower series books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't you say a few minutes ago you don't talk about King in your channel?
Yeah, no, I haven't for a long time. This last one was the first one I've done for a long time.
Except 2 days ago. Yeah.
Sorry?
Except 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's the first one I've done. That's the first Stephen King video I've done since early last year. So, what's going on?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You don't need to justify yourself.
Are you hearing sounds there?
No, Zvezda was walking around. She caught my eye.
Okay. Michael Love, have you watched Mark Flanagan's film adaptation of Doctor Sleep?
I have not. I don't watch a lot of movies. I do occasionally try to watch a movie, but my attention span, I can't stay focused on the screen. Like 10 minutes later, I stop watching. Is Mike Flanagan the same guy who did the Midnight Mass? Because I did watch that. And he did Oculus, I think. I think it's the same guy. I've seen both of those, and those were great. But I have not seen the movie. Yeah, I don't have the attention span for movies. I think maybe I watch 1 or 2 movies a year, like very few movies.
Yeah.
And it's only if someone is with me and it forces me to watch it. Otherwise I can't. My mind just goes somewhere else. I have the attention span for novels, but not for movies.
Chris is still stirring. What can happen when an alcoholic father turns on a family? Ha ha ha. Yeah, that is hard to imagine. She's talking about The Shining again.
She's probably talking about other stuff too. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't have to imagine much. It happens quite frequently. Yeah.
It's read, I believe there's a female Christine, but I could be confusing it with the movie. Both do a buddy read and pick up all of VC Andrews' works.
I would love to read a VC Andrews. Yeah, have you read VC Andrews before?
I haven't. What is the famous one? The one in the
her first one from 1979's Flowers in the Attic.
Flowers in the Attic. Yeah. I could read that.
I could read that too. Yeah, I'd be up for it.
Yeah.
I'd be up for any VC Andrews because I think she died in 1986. I want to say 85 or 86. And her books were continued to be put out because she was super popular by Andrew Niederman. He was her ghostwriter, and I like Andrew Niederman a lot. So,
yeah, I'll be up for a buddy read. Let's talk about it.
VC, let's do VC. Who was it who recommended? Robert. Okay, but he's never serious about his comments. So I don't know if he actually wants us to do that or if he's just daring us. But that's actually a good idea, Robert. I'd be happy to. Okay, it's Robert, YA. It's YA.
Robert, we're on board with you. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're intentional or not, but it's YA stuff. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
I don't mind YA at all. Okay. If your cat died, you take it to the pet cemetery.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's not a nice question, Peter. That's not a nice question, Peter. I certainly wouldn't do it with my dog, for sure.
Certainly wouldn't do it with your dog. Yeah.
Sorry?
I was just hearing you again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a cat die. I mean, a few years ago. It was not fun. Not a good experience.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the book, Pet Cemetery. Really.
I better.
It's very, like to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
Seems to be a great turnout in the comments. Yeah, it is, Jim. A lot of people in here.
Oh yeah. What is the record for a number of people here on these live channels?
I think we've got it today. I think there's a record.
Okay, yeah. We bet.
In terms of time, in terms of conversation time, we're coming second. The record I had was with Gareth at Book Songs and Other Magic. I think we spoke for close on 3 hours, and then we called it a day.
I want to know the record of the turnout.
Yeah, I think my wife will count. We'll see.
I want this video to win. It's important for me. I want to confirm that the viewers of my channel are the most loyal and the most enthusiastic.
Hey, and my channel, hey, please, yeah. But
well, I mean, but if it's compared to the other chats that you do, I think then I would be the. My channel is not just the YouTube channel. I don't know if you know. It's a movement.
Yeah, I think any book written 20+ years ago has such popularity. Will have a hard time living up to the hype.
Okay, I would disagree with Shirley Jackson, Clive Barker, Davis Grubb, Edgar Allan Poe.
Shirley Jackson, I'm afraid. I personally hated it. I'd like to know why you hated Pet Cemetery. What was it about that book?
I don't know why. I don't want to know why because I'm currently reading it.
Actually, no, don't say why. Don't.
But I bet you Mythos Managed probably hates Frankenstein too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the next one. Pet Cemetery. Okay. The reason we're jumping at people is because he's busy reading it. He's only a third of the way through, so you don't want to give him any clues. Okay. So anything on Pet Cemetery, I'm jumping through.
Living in Brazil.
Did you see any bookstores there with books written in Portuguese for the local Brazilian readers?
Okay, so this is a very sad story. I could probably go on about this. I won't. But I lived in the interior in Ceará, and there were literally 0 bookstores there. It is a big city, 0 bookstores. There's a high illiteracy rate where I was living in Ceará. But I did travel quite a bit when I was there. And I picked up quite a few books for Brazilian readers. In fact, I was working for a publishing company. This was decades ago. And I read this book called The Woman Who Reads the Bible. The Woman Who Wrote the Bible. I don't know if it's been translated into English, but it was a big hit in Brazil. And then like 5 years later, when I had returned to France, this publishing company, they put it out in France. And no, this is like 10 years later. It's like, oh yeah, I know this book. I read it 10 years ago. And it was funny. It was like a connection between my life in Brazil and my life in France. But there's a huge illiteracy issue where I was living in the Northwest of Brazil.
Yeah. I think you mentioned living in Brazil in your last video as well.
Yeah.
You talk about the illiteracy and the poverty and the, yeah.
I mean, Brazil is a huge country with a lot of diversity, but where I was, there were no bookstores at all.
A lot of people can like this. It's a brilliant book. But people are sensitive about pets. Yeah. Okay. Question for both of you. Have you read David Sodergren? Yes. I'm at the end of my second book by him. Yeah. We actually chatted about this on your channel, Chris. I know that you just finished Maggie's Grave, which I want to read. High priority. I read The Ha by David Sodergren.
Am I confusing him? Is he a filmmaker? Or am I confusing him?
He's a Swedish horror author. And yeah, The Ha is an excellent horror novel.
How do you spell this? Horror?
Haar.
Oh, okay. All right.
The Ha. He's a Swedish writer. Okay. And he also has got Maggie's Grave, which is apparently very good as well.
Okay.
It's supposed to be even better. So I'm actually, yeah.
Thank you for that. He's on my TBR now. Okay.
Yeah.
I like to read horror from different countries.
Yeah. I need to reread Green Mile. It's younger, but loved it. Yeah.
Do you need to?
I'd love to. Also, a lovely one here. Read. Yeah.
Okay, and Mythos Managed knows what.
Actually, I would highly recommend The Ha. I know you said something about folk horror, but this is different. I know you said earlier in the conversation about Stephen King being folksy, but this is completely different.
Okay, be careful. Folksy is different from folk horror.
Yeah.
Folk horror, like Adam Neville, his Cunning Folk, that's cool. Folksy, not so cool.
Okay. So just glad you sorted that out for me.
Yeah,
and I said something a bit dodgy there, so I don't know what you're looking at me for. Or have you run out of one?
Can you repeat it?
I said a little bit something a bit dodgy. You remember the rules?
Yeah, and by dodgy you mean you confuse folksy with folk horror?
Yeah. So you need to, there we go.
All right.
I've got a question bouncing off your last video, Michael. What was the main issue with the publishers that you split from?
I don't want to say anything bad about the publishers. Basically, it was the book was supposed to come out this October, and they had a setback, and they said, "Okay, it's not going to come out till November." I mean, last November. And I said, "Okay, fine. I don't care. It's not a big deal." And then there was a third time. There was another delay. Like, okay, it's not going to come out until January. And then when he came back again, he said, "Listen, there's another delay. I'm kind of embarrassed. Do you want to wait for next year, which would have been this time, or do you want to just go your separate ways?" And I got the feeling from him that he wasn't super excited about publishing the book. So I said, we'll just break up. We'll just go our separate ways. No big deal. It's interesting because when it takes so long for the publishers to put out the book, even though the book is ready, because they send it to all these outlets for them to review it. And these outlets will only review books if they haven't been published yet. But because they're so solicited, it takes them several months for them to review the book. That's why the book is ready and then it comes out like a year later. It's because of reviewers that they're counting on. It's kind of strange. But it also creates delays. And also, I don't think that the publisher was that excited about publishing my book. I'm not really sure why they offered me a contract. So that was kind of delays.
Good question. That was a good question.
Yeah.
Ask him to write to you, so I'm really interested. Yeah, I've just finished one of Gareth's.
Is that from the same person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually just finished one of his books as well.
From Book Songs in Other Magic?
Sorry?
You read a book from Book Songs and Other Magic?
Yeah, from Gareth, yeah.
Oh, what was it about?
It was called 10 Tales of... Oh, okay, Gareth is going to hate me now because I can't remember. Transformation.
I remember the video. Yeah, I remember the video.
Yeah. No, it was very good. I wrote a review on Goodreads, so you can check it there.
Did he put it out himself or was it with the publisher?
I think he put it out himself. I think he put it out himself. When I chatted with him, he told me that.
My experience with publishers has not been good. Honestly, I don't have an agent, so I don't have access to big publishers. But the smaller publishers, it has not been a positive experience. Yeah. So that's why with Edifice Complex, I put it out myself. We'll see if that experience is better. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Kubrick's adaptation and never hear about Lawnmower Man, which movie has nothing to do with the story. Maybe because he was more proud of The Shining and his book The Shining than he was with her short story called The Lawnmower Man. So he just kind of wrote it off. I think that's what you mean. Why is he not giving the same importance to the fact that The Lawnmower Man, it was a movie based on one of his stories, was totally different. I think it's because The Shining was more beloved and was changed his idea of what it should be. So I think that's probably the answer for that.
There is surely a frustration that comes to mind because more people know the movie than they know the book. And there has to be a little bit of frustration there. Even though it helps sell books, there's a little bit of frustration involved. I would imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I've read the horror and I'm also of name. What is your fave? Okay. I love both The Shining book and movie. I view them as two different stories. I'm with you there, Jen. With you.
Yeah, but you are two reasonable people. That's not really the overall consensus.
Hey, searching for trouble. I love Maggie's Brand. No, I'll second. Really good.
I'm happy to discover this writer, David Soderbergh. I've not heard of him, so I look forward. I'll put that on my TV.
When we break out just now, I will write it for you. Okay.
Okay. Well, it's in my head, but okay.
In your head. Okay.
Because I put a moratorium on horror from the U.S. I don't know if I told you about this.
Yeah. Hey, what you reading King for?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's really nice. I don't know why my wife is not taking my message yet. I've got a message here and she hasn't. Maybe she stopped watching.
I don't know. Maybe she's got her own stuff going on.
Yeah.
I like the Shining book and I love the movie. I also really like the miniseries as well. Yeah, you're being very generous. That's very generous.
Oh, the miniseries is great.
Is it?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Sorry. Oh, you're talking about this. I'm getting distracted because my wife came in to get me a drink. King hated the adaptation of The Lawnmower Man and took legal action. Oh, okay. Connecting his story to the movie. I didn't know that, Kat. I just thought that maybe because it
That's
was
true.
less important in terms of the actual story. So I was wrong there.
It was also not a good movie. It was also not a good movie, or not a celebrated movie.
No, it was a
The
terrible movie.
Shining, yeah, The Shining is a celebrated movie.
Yeah. Evil action. Maggie's Grave has some bonkers scenes that had me cheering. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay,
I want to
as am
actually
I.
read that. I actually want to read that next month because
Well,
they do.
we should do a Cliff. We should do then what do you read then of this David
Of
Sonnenberg?
Maggie's Grave.
Yeah, why
Maggie's
not?
Grave. Yeah,
Okay,
that
all
I
right,
will agree with. Yeah,
okay.
better,
But
better than,
you already agreed to VC Anders too, by the way,
yeah.
and we have
But
witnesses.
we'll do that. We'll go for another month with that. But let's do a buddy read for Maggie's Grave by David Soderbergh.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I hope it's not a huge book.
Say it again.
I hope it's not a huge book.
I don't think so. No. Well, the horror wasn't very long.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. Let's look here. Just people we can't and won't speak with.
It's lots of people. Okay. I mean, jeez. Do you have a?
That's actually a good question. Is there anywhere you'd like to end up?
Yeah, I do not enjoy moving around as much as I do. I really don't. I would love to just get in one place and settle down. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have not found a place to settle down in. Unfortunately.
Hey, you might find it in Latvia. You never know.
I might find it. I'd be surprised. I would think that the Netherlands would be nice, but it's super expensive. I need to be a success, and I don't have a my financial situation doesn't allow me to live in a lot of places. Yeah. But I would think the Netherlands would be a really nice place to live because they're like really into nature and they're like wonderful people too.
Well, I've heard good things about Latvia as well. I've heard good things about Latvia.
Yeah, so have I.
And yeah.
Yeah, so have I. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
No, I do not enjoy it. I want to settle down somewhere.
But that's a very good question. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing where you're going lends you a certain amount of freedom, Michael. Yeah. But sometimes you also need to know that it gets tiring after a while. You travel too much.
It's not a choice. Like, this is not me like being exciting. This is just me paying the consequences of my decisions. It's really, to be honest with you.
I love being in an area where nothing is going on. The older I get, the more I like being away from people. Yeah, we're the same. That's why we moved here. But you know, we moved here and we thought it was going to be a lot easier than it is. Financially, we thought we were going to have an easier time. And I have to be deadly honest, both trying to do stuff online, booktube, other stuff. House is very old. Kind of all the houses in South Africa, you find a lot of them are too damn big. And we actually that's actually a story. We actually had another property, and we were scammed. And basically, we were paying occupational rent before we could buy the house, apparently. But the previous owners, just nothing happened. Lawyers, nothing was going to happen. And we had to actually get lawyers to fight our way out of this other property. And it cost us a fortune. And then finally we found this place. And this place is run down. We need to paint. There's so much stuff we need to do. We just don't have the finances. So it's not easy, eh? And it's one thing, it's because it's like this idea that you're going to get away. We're getting away to the coast and it's beautiful. And it is beautiful. But that's not always so easy. Yeah, that was my little rant. Yeah. Okay.
But this.
Say that again?
The blue-eyed Matt probably has somebody in their life.
Yeah,
it's when you get away, if you get away with someone, I can
yeah,
definitely see the appeal. I can definitely see the appeal of that. When you get
it,
away
it,
by
it-
yourself, it's not that exciting.
yeah, and it does really help the fact that it's my wife and I and Layla. So, and we're away, as I said, we're away from other people.
And the
We're away.
vultures.
Sorry.
And the vultures.
Yeah, 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 and the vultures.
Yeah. Forget them. They're omnipresent in your
Right
life.
outside the window. Yeah, they're actually called hardy dars, Michael, not vultures.
I saw your video, yes.
Yeah,
They will always be vultures to me.
yeah. But what I'm saying is that with her, we can cope with the sort of loneliness of where we are, so it does help. But also, I mean, like, if something goes wrong, we have our family a long way away. We've got family, her family are far away. My family are far away. Our friends are far away. So we are quite isolated. And sometimes it helps if you're close to support mechanisms. And we don't really have that. So it's a different kind of thing. I know, but totally different to your circumstances. I just thought I'd be honest as well. A little bit.
It's very brave of you, Cliff. We appreciate it.
Okay. Which writers inspired your writing?
Clive Barker, Edgar Allan Poe, or Jorge Luis Borges. Probably those three.
Yeah. He's saying the south of France is overrated.
He's just stirring the pot. It's not overrated. It's just definitely not for me. It's not a lifestyle that it works on me at all. The people, I will say, in the region I'm in is called Var, VAR, and the people are lovely here. And my experience with the people in the south was limited to Nice and Marseille, these big cities, where the people are horrible. So I was kind of worried about coming here, like experiencing the people would just be terrible, but they're lovely here. So the south of the France in my head was just horrible people, like Cannes and Nice and Marseille, they're terrible. But here in the Val, it's nice. So that's the positive I can say.
I've just read the first Ramsey Campbell novel. Yeah. Which one was that, Gareth?
Horror Mayhem.
Yeah. You know about Horror Mayhem? The reading event. Okay. The reading event that takes place every Mayhem. Have you ever watched someone do a review of one of your books?
I've not. No. I've read reviews of books I've ghostwritten and books I've written as well. But no, I've never seen any booktuber. That would be very difficult, I would think, a booktuber to do a review of my book. I mean, I don't expect booktubers to do that because I can imagine that they don't. You can't really. I don't do reviews of up and coming writers as well. Do you ever get solicited, Cliff, to do reviews for people?
Not from booktubers, but I often have authors send me messages, my mail, lots of times.
Lots of times, okay.
And I've had to say, sorry, I don't do that at this stage, at this point in my life, but I'll let you know if I do.
Okay, good. I'm the same way. I do get messages like that, but I can't do them because if I don't like the book, I don't want to say anything bad about them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, here's your troublemaker. Yeah. Hey, what you single for?
Yeah. Okay. It's for a myriad of reasons.
It's just a scary thing to watch. Sorry, what was that? To watch what?
Like a booktuber doing a review.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be experiencing me at the end of the month. So.
Oh, that'd be great. I was going to say, if it's a booktuber I don't know, that would be super fantastic. But a booktuber that I know, I would not expect them to review my book because that would be weird.
I think with Gareth, he's chilled about that. I think he'll enjoy me reviewing his book.
If it's a good review, I guess. But
if it's a terrible book, then I just wouldn't go there.
If you want to give me a good review, I'm happy with it.
Only if it's even if indie authors or if I don't review 1-star books, I don't. There's,
Yeah.
and I'll seldom review 2-star books if it's someone that I know, or if it's a new author, or
Right.
and even if I do 3 or 4, I'll try to be positive, because you don't want to break the person down and say, yeah.
Exactly. However, I'm the same way. But if a book is like very successful, like Gabino Iglesias's last book was a big hit, and it was terrible, and I was very comfortable telling people that it was terrible because it was a big hit. He doesn't need me to. I'm not gonna be able to cut him down, you know. But if it's a book that people haven't heard of or anything, I don't want to. I don't want to kill it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Mm-hmm. I read a ton, so I like joining us for readathons. Reading roughly a book a day is beneficial, other than the ones with very narrow prompts. Yeah, I don't read a book a day.
Yeah, that would be great.
My problem with readathons is that I don't like too many prompts and stuff like that. It freaks me out. I don't like it because you end up not reading what you want to read, right? And I've got so many books on my TBR that I want to read, and if I'm only reading 8 to 10 books a month, I want to talk about those books. I want to get to those books. Whereas if you've got too many events, then you have to read other stuff as well as what you want to read, and you end up not getting everything you want. Although you're supporting other channels and readathons and social, and it's a good thing to be social. It's good, but you also got to be true to your, this is what I wanted my channel. I want to read this book.
Yep.
I found that sometimes it's really difficult.
I've done one, but I've never done a readathon. I've done one buddy read in my entire life.
Yeah. I've done a lot of readathons, yeah.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, you're very generous.
Okay, readathon. Okay, let's go. Have you read Sandman? No, I haven't read. The reason I haven't read Sandman is because we don't have access to graphic novels here. If I look far enough, maybe in Cape Town, Johannesburg, the bigger cities, which we don't go to anymore, then I might be able to find something. But we don't have graphic novels here, so I would love to know.
I do not speak German at all. I know one German word, and when I try to pronounce it, German people never understand me. So my German knowledge.
I know a lot of Spanish, but I still don't speak it. I can speak a little bit of Afrikaans, but not much. I don't believe in ghosts, but I enjoy stories about ghosts.
Okay. Yeah. Ghost stories, I never work on me, except for Cold Heart Candy. Moving to random Eastern European countries on a whim, Michael choosing books to read. I'm not a... Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true. What can I tell you? Yeah. Yeah. I am busted. Yeah.
Well, Michael, I have no idea you wrote reverse harem stories. I can't picture you.
Okay.
Male harem. Male harem. Okay, I'm listening.
Why can't she imagine me doing that? Why? Why can't I write reverse harem? It does.
I think she'll have to explain that.
Yeah, that's the question. Why not? Why not? I've written, yeah, dozens of them. I've got a cat to feed.
You're living off your writing. Yeah, pay rent and for artistic reasons.
It's important to write to pay rent and also write for artistic reasons if you're living off your writing. I wish I could write for artistic reasons, but I can't sell those books. So, I mean, Oedipus Complex is a trial. We'll see.
Yeah.
So if it works, I won't have to ghostwrite anymore. I could just keep writing my own books, but I don't think it will work. I don't think I'll sell enough.
Don't speak a second language.
What you're not speaking a second language for?
Is one of my favorites too. I'm looking forward to reading Oedipus Complex. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to.
Your sales going to double or triple here, Michael?
I'm sorry.
You're going to find that your sales for Oedipus Complex is going to double and triple because I'm going to get onto my Kindle just now and I'm going to look up Edifice Complex.
Yeah, that'd be if my sales double, that would mean I would sell 4 more books. Because right now I'm at 2.
That's not too bad. That's a start. We'll just get the ball rolling.
It is a start. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to your reactions. It's a strange book. I don't know how people
No,
react.
hey, what you've
I
got-
assume they'll like it. I mean, I assume people like it.
You said something about a guy having sexual congress with a wall or building. That
Yeah,
reminds me of his Books of Blood short story by
Yes.
Barker called
Yes.
Desire. It's Desire,
Yes.
right? Yeah. About that drug that inflames him.
Yeah, I love that. That was like one of the first Clive Barker stories I read. It kind of remarks me. But no, this is a little bit different. This is a love story. This is not sexual rage.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
The guy is clearly disturbed, obviously. But
once you're settled, once I have a better internet and a live stream, try a
gorgeous Betty Reed.
Reading Express. Some of those are fun stories. Okay. What's Borges?
Jorge Luis Borges. You have to read his Ficciones.
Okay.
It's a masterpiece
I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece of it's a
Okay.
short story collection, South American literature. I'm late, but I'm here. Hello.
Yo, chat.
I'm taking a drink for whatever that was. I'm taking it.
She insists that I do that every single time that she's watching. So there we go. Okay. We're almost at the end of this. We got rights, reverse horror mode. No, I feel for you, and I feel that you'll never read romance again. Hello, Catherine. I didn't see you here before.
I have read a few romance books this year. I've read 2 romance books this year by choice. One I liked, which was Gravity by Tal Bauer. It was good. It was like a queer romance. It was nice. And I read Sally Rooney, which I didn't much care for. Normal People, not so good. You're allowed to. What am I wrong about? I haven't been wrong yet. And I appreciate it.
She's going back to the original chirping you with Frankenstein and all those other things as well. You're allowed to be wrong.
I'm not. Yes, but I'm not wrong about Frankenstein. I'm just not. No.
It's better than just a horror writer.
You know what I would love to do, and this is and this is a cheat because this has actually happened to me once in my life, where somebody I was at like a party, like with a bunch of literary snobs, and one person was just going off about how great Frankenstein was. I said, "There's a copy of Frankenstein." I said, "Pick it up, and with a straight face, just open it up and read us 3 paragraphs, and just see if you can defend yourself." And they did, and it was kind of embarrassing because it's not a good book. And if you read it out loud in front of people, you realize, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. I can't really defend this. And anyway, that's
moving right on.
yeah, no, but it's a fun party. Like if you go to like really boring literary parties, that can be a thing to do. It's indefensible. Read it out loud in front of somebody, but before you read it, tell them how amazing the book is, and then pick it up and read it for them. And you will see you will fail miserably because it's shockingly bad. Promise you. It's a great party trick.
Okay.
They're like really bad parties.
Gareth says, I love The Outsider, one of his best, I think. He's better than just a horror writer. Yeah, Gareth, we're not going to go there because you know how I feel about The Outsider. It worked for you, it worked for Gareth, but it wasn't my favorite. It's not a bad book. I just found it a bit, What makes a book boring?
A protagonist who is timid and who will not stand up for himself or herself. Who gets pushed around. That is the thing that makes it very difficult for me to get into a book.
What, like Frankenstein?
No, I'm not talking about Frankenstein, but like a book, the protagonist just doesn't. Have you read The Auctioneer by Joan Sampson?
No, that's one I want to read.
Okay. It's a book that a lot of people love. I did not love it for that reason, because the characters are just so passive, incredibly passive. Passive characters. That's what makes a book boring for me.
Okay.
And preachy authors. When the author inserts themselves into the story to preach to you,
I think it's a lack of rhythm in the text that makes it boring. I think for me, if it doesn't capture my attention from the beginning, and the writing is poor, the characters are crap, and everything is just lets it down, then it's boring. It needs to capture my attention from the beginning, even if it just needs to hold my attention. But then if the writing goes to places where then I'll lose interest and it's boring. Okay, I'm going to do a video about it. Okay.
about what? About boring books?
About what makes a book boring.
Passive characters. I don't mind if a character is bad or wrong, but I just need the character to be proactive.
From the Dust Return is a fix-up book. It's not part of that trilogy. Yeah. I know that I actually enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite by Ray Bradbury.
But something wicked.
I will do a review on my channel, but yeah. Sorry?
Something wicked this way comes. It's just gorgeous.
Going to be talking about that tomorrow in my top 10 books of all time.
Cliff, did you cry at the end? Were you left in tears?
I cried. I cried in Dandelion Wine.
Okay. But something wicked this way comes, no?
Sorry? I can't remember. I read that a long time ago.
Okay.
I read Dandelion Wine more recently.
Okay.
It's just got such beautiful prose, eh?
Yeah.
So gorgeous, lyrical. Yeah.
And you cried at the end of that?
At Dandelion Wine. I think I cried more than once.
Okay. Sure. I cried at Something Wicked This Way Comes. I cried out of beauty and out of emotion as well.
Yeah. I probably did cry. But that needs a reread, actually. I'll reread that book.
Yeah.
Even though I think Reddening is a 5-star ending for a character. Okay. I need to get to the Reading. I need to get to The Ritual next month. I need to read The Ritual.
Yeah, you'll like that book. That'll be a good one.
I've got it up, yeah. So
I mean, it's no Mexican Gothic, but it's good.
Michael, I want to ask you a question. Do you even have any wine left for me to make a snide comment?
I do, but I have wine left, but this is I've been drinking a lot. I don't know if I can handle.
Okay, so now then let's leave it there.
Yeah, I think this.
We're going to shoot through these comments, people, because I think we're both a little bit tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Farewell Summer is the third one. It's not a proper trilogy. Okay.
It's not a proper. Okay, good to know.
He's doing a whole series on Ray Bradbury, which I've been enjoying. You can check those out.
Dandelion Wine is on my TBR, but
yeah. Confessions is a Japanese novel about. Okay.
Some scenes just felt low.
Yeah. Sorry if we don't comment too long and hard now, guys. We're getting a little bit tired. It's been a great chat, though. I'll get on that essay. I'm starting to recall the main character's wife a bit now. She's not portrayed in a nice light. Early 20s.
Which book is she talking about?
Probably Frankenstein, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, main character Frankenstein, his wife. I'm not sure. No, she thinks Frankenstein's a masterpiece, so it wouldn't be that.
Yeah.
Mike Flanagan did Midnight
Mass.
Mike
Flanagan did Midnight Mass. I thought Midnight Mass was spectacular. And I don't watch a lot of television, but that one was great. And Oculus was very good too. Oculus. He also did The Haunting of Hill, which I have not seen.
Gerald Gang.
The Fall of the House of Usher is one of my favorite short stories of all time.
Yeah, it's a great story. Big Galen.
I would be skeptical of a adaptation of it, I was in the attic when I was 12. That probably explains what happened to me. Yeah. It is geared towards 12-year-olds though. I mean it is a book
Not,
for young
not
kids.
really, apparently not really a good thing to be read by 12-year-olds.
It's not good, but it's naughty. It's naughty, but it is aimed for those people. For those people.
Okay, literally the same.
Hello, Angel.
Hello, Angel. I've got you playing on 3 devices because I'm multitasking. So I'm
Oh,
helping
okay. So you're helping out the algorithm. All right, nice. Right.
Shall I document?
I don't know. Talk to me. Talk to me is Mike Flanagan. Yeah, the Haunted Mirror one, the Oculus was really nice.
Gareth, you've been challenged. So far.
So what was the Mike Flanagan project we were taught that started this thread? Do you remember, Cliff?
I don't remember. Yeah, there was more than
No,
one.
he did Doctor Sleep, right?
No, he did the miniseries of The Shining, and then there was the movie adaptation of The Shining,
No.
and I think there was another movie possibly, but the second one of The Shining, I think he liked a lot more than the first because it was closer to his.
He did not do the miniseries The Shine. The miniseries The Shine is very old. He did Doctor Sleep. He did Doctor Sleep.
Okay.
I think. Right. Yeah. But I'm going with. I liked Tender as the Flesh. I didn't love it. It's not really a horror book, but I liked it. It's fine.
It was kind of disturbing, eh? Sorry, dodgy keyboard.
You're going too fast, Cliff. My eyes are not adjusting.
Oh, sorry.
Luck. She's the best. Who is the best Brazilian writer? Who? Can you go back, Cliff?
Augustina Basarica. I'm still going with her.
Okay. Yeah, she's. Yeah. I mean, I've only read Tender as a Flesh, which I thought was good, but it's not.
No,
it's not Cortázar. But
a lot of people call Tender as a Flesh like seriously disturbing. I didn't find it that disturbing.
No.
And maybe in a kind of cold, real way. It felt a bit disturbing, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not realistic. It's not believable enough to be that disturbing. But okay. Argentina produces a lot of good writers.
I just want to wish you luck with the movie, Michael, before you guys sign off.
Thank you.
Yeah, you must keep in contact, eh? And we want to see you back on BookTube. We want to see. I saw your comments from your last video. People care about you. We want to see you back on the channel.
Yes, and that's a good point because people were giving comments like, "Oh, we're gonna miss you. Take care." And I think maybe I did not explain myself correctly. I'm going to reduce my activity. I'm not going to disappear.
Yeah.
So, I love the positive vibes I'm getting, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm just less of me for a while, for like the next month or so.
Yeah. You're getting away from people till I'm old enough to be the one fixing things and buying groceries. No, I like being someplace with good access to affordable supply.
Yep.
Hate it out. It's a blast to see you too. Great content. Thanks, Robert. Thanks for being here.
Hey, what you leaving for?
What you reading for? What you drinking for?
What you heading out for?
Better read books with friends, but I find it awkward reviewing books when I know.
Of course.
I hate the book or like the wrong bits. I don't want to sour friendship.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
I don't think it's going to be a problem with me because I will focus on the good parts. If the parts that I didn't like was it a problem like last time when I spoke about that short story with you live?
I don't remember.
remember the first time I spoke about some of those short stories with you, and I
My short
reviewed them.
stories?
I enjoyed them. I said I enjoyed them.
Okay.
Like just like really nasty at the end, nice horror, body horror. You had a good time talking about those with me.
I love talking about my work. Love it.
Yeah. So if I finish the entire thing and then I review it on my channel,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Why would I go out to hurt your reputation by saying a crap review?
Yeah.
Not gonna
That's
do
not.
it.
You review my book on your channel, you're going to get tons of views, you're going to get lots of new subscribers, and you're going to enjoy a good book. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm about three stories in. It's not a long book. Let me finish it and then I'll review it on my channel.
but you have to be in the right mood for it because it's kind of silly, especially Hansel and Gretel YouTube stars.
The Bishop's fairy tale retelling.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's a read books for friends. Kind of cool. Yeah. I will never read a reverse harem story, but my best friend loves them and tells them all about it.
I wonder if she tells about the ones I've read. Whether I want to hear it or not. It's just the concept doesn't fit with your higher literary. Yeah, it's just to pay for cat food.
Standards, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. Thanks for the yo. My pleasure. My pleasure. I was talking about Fahrenheit 451. Yeah.
Oh, about the wife, and the wife is the worst character in the history of literature. By the way, worst character. Yeah, you cannot find a worse character. The wife in Fahrenheit 451. Yeah. She's insulting and just.
The one that looks at this big wall.
Yes, exactly. Just
Okay.
Exactly, Dr. Sleep. Exactly.
Yeah. Michael, you like all the fiends of hell?
Yes.
You got a video.
I did a whole video, and you saw the video, Angela.
Tell them about your top 10 video.
What top 10?
Because you got a top 10 video. You got a top 10 video of the author.
No, it's not a top 10. It's his entire catalog of novels.
Oh, okay.
Don't diminish it.
You're ranking his novels. You rank his novels.
All of them.
Okay.
I don't do. Yeah. Exactly. Except that one came out after I did the ranking. Because it's a new release. But I did a video just on that book, and she has. Angel, you have seen it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to read The Ritual next month, and then let's see how the author speaks to me. And then
exactly.
Yeah.
And you can look at my ranking of his entire catalog to see what your next book will be.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Mosquitoes.
Okay, I forgot.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, guys, I'm sorry if you came on quite recently, but I really hope you enjoyed that. We have been going for nearly 2.5 hours now. I think it's time to take a break. 2.5 hours.
I'm out of wine. Time to end this live stream.
But guys, thank you so much for joining us. It was absolutely wonderful. Michael, thank you for being my guest for the second time. And Angel, my memory shot. What from? All the Fiends of Hell.
She forgot about All the Fiends of Hell, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. But take care, guys. Take care, everyone. Great.
And coming up in the future, you and I are doing a buddy read of David Sonnenberg and a buddy read of V.C. Andrews.
Maggie's Grave.
And V.C. Andrews.
And V.C. Andrews, yeah. So that's two.
And for everybody, thank you very much for all the love and support. I am not going anywhere. I mean, I am going somewhere physically, but I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm just going to reduce activity for a few weeks. Just hang in there. And get yourself a copy of Oedipus Complex while I'm gone.
Everyone loves you, Michael.
I know they do. I know, and I feel it. And I'm very grateful. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you for the positive energy. Are we going to talk afterwards?
Yeah, let's just say hello, because I'm just going to end the stream and then we just check. No. just pretty. Okay, let's go. Okay, cheers everyone. Bye guys. Hang on, not yet.